Hello again, Tony Bulmer from the Bulmer Group. And yes, I'm sitting in my bar area in my wonderful office space down here in Lavender Bay in Sydney. And yes, there's a beer behind me. Back in the 80s, perhaps people would have said to be confident as a presenter, a beer wouldn't do any harm, but I'm not so sure that's really the case. But I do want to talk about confidence, and I want to talk about three concerns that people raise with me regularly that perhaps dilutes their confidence. The first concern is, what if I don't know the answer to a question that I'm asked? And my response to that is, statistically, if you're talking about a topic that you really do know something about, that is very unlikely to occur. If it were to occur, it's highly likely that a legitimate answer would be to say something like, we actually haven't got to that level of detail as yet, and so I'm more than happy to come back to you on that. And really what should be the thought process for the presenter is all the other questions that they may well get asked that they do know the answer to and the wonderful value they can add. And so it's a very disproportionate time and worry going towards something that's actually not that likely to happen. The second concern is, I don't really like being the center of attention. Now, it's interesting because I think great presenters aren't the center of their attention. The audience is. And this changes the way we feel, because if we are preoccupied with the people in front of us, be it by way of virtual or in the room together, we are much more engaging, we're much more interested in them, and we forget about ourselves. And so we relax. So the audience might be looking at us, but in our own mindset, it's actually not about us, it's entirely about the audience. That is a great way to feel more comfortable presenting. And the third one is, Tony, what if I forget to say something? Well, you know what? We all do. And the bad news is, as we get older, as I get older, I have found that I do it more and more. But you know what? If at the end of a presentation, if afterwards you remember something that you were going to say, you didn't, but no question was asked in relation to that area of discussion, well, it probably wasn't that pertinent anyway. If towards the end of the discussion or presentation you think of something you would have liked to have said earlier, add it in. Just say, look, I meant to say earlier on, I was going to add in our earlier conversation. You don't have to apologize for it. It shows that you're thinking in the moment. It shows that you're thinking on your feet. Audiences love that. Maybe in the extreme, you might even send an email the next day or ring your audience the next day and say, look, when we were talking yesterday in the presentation, there was something else I've thought about that I think is relevant. Again, it says you're thinking, and audiences love that. So my point is that what we perceive as negatives and concerns and we worry about, we actually needn't, because they're really, from the audience's perspective, not concerns at all. Think differently, think sensibly, and you will be much more confident as a presenter. If you find these thoughts helpful, please visit the website to see what else we can offer you to support you and your people in the presentation journey going forward. As always, thank you for watching.